Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into all the latest celebrity drama and television chaos that's got the internet buzzing right now. And today we have an absolute bombshell that nobody saw coming involving two absolute legends of British entertainment, Petula Clark, yes the Petula Clark, the woman who gave us Downtown, Color My World, and a career that has spanned over 8 decades, and Denise Welch, the loose women panelist who never holds back and is known for speaking her mind no matter who's in the room, and apparently these two icons came to blows on the set of Loose Women in what insiders are calling one of the most explosive moments in the show's entire history, and the headline that's everywhere right now is that Petula Clark was allegedly kicked off the program after a heated clash with Denise Welch that left the studio in stunned silence and the producers scrambling to regain control. And before we get into every single detail of what reportedly went down, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you do not want to miss a single update on this story as more comes out, because trust me, this is only the beginning. People who were in the building that day are saying that the tension was palpable from the moment Petula walked onto the set. Apparently she was booked as a guest to talk about her incredible career, her new projects, and maybe even touch on some of the classic hits that made her a global superstar back in the 60s and 70s. But things took a turn very quickly when the conversation somehow shifted to modern celebrity culture, cancel culture, and the way older stars are treated in today's media landscape, and that's when Denise Welch, who as we all know has very strong opinions on pretty much everything, jumped in with both feet and apparently said something that Petula took great exception to. And from there it all kicked off in a way that nobody in that studio will ever forget. So let's set the scene properly because this wasn't just a little disagreement or a polite difference of opinion. This was reportedly full-on shouting, finger-pointing, and language that apparently made even the most seasoned Loose Women crew members blush, according to multiple sources who were either in the audience or working behind the scenes that day. Petula Clark arrived in great spirits. She was warm with the other panelists. She hugged Nadia Sawalha, she complimented Janet Street Porter on her outfit. Everything seemed perfectly normal for the first 20 minutes or so of the live broadcast. They played a montage of her greatest hits. The audience was loving it. And then the topic turned to whether older celebrities should still be commenting on current social issues or whether they should gracefully step back and let the younger generation take the microphone. And that's when Denise Welch apparently said something along the lines of some stars from the old days need to realize that times have changed and certain views just aren't acceptable anymore. And while she claims she wasn't aiming it directly at Petula, everyone in the studio knew exactly who she was talking about because Petula has been very vocal in recent interviews about her traditional values, her views on marriage, family, and what she sees as the over-sexualization of modern pop music. And Petula did not take it lying down. She reportedly fired back with something like "I've been in this business since before you were born and I'll say whatever I damn well please." And from there the gloves were off. Denise allegedly responded with a comment about privilege and not understanding what younger women go through today, and Petula apparently laughed and said, "Privilege, my dear, I started working when I was 8 years old during the war, don't talk to me about privilege." And the audience gasped. The other panelists tried to intervene but it was too late. The two of them were in full flow and the producers were frantically signaling to go to a break. Now during the commercial break things apparently got even worse because instead of calming down, both women continued arguing off camera with raised voices that could be heard all the way down the corridor. Crew members were standing around with their mouths open. Apparently Petula told Denise that she was everything that's wrong with television today, that she was rude, aggressive, and had no respect for her elders, while Denise reportedly told Petula that she was out of touch, living in the past, and needed to stop acting like the world owed her something just because she sang a few nice songs 60 years ago, and at that point security was called. Not because anyone was in physical danger but because the producers were terrified that when they came back from the break the argument would continue live on air and they would have a complete PR nightmare on their hands. So in an unprecedented move the decision was made to cut Petula's segment entirely. They thanked her very quickly when they returned from the break, said unfortunately we're running out of time but thank you so much for joining us Petula. and then moved straight on to the next topic as if nothing had happened. But of course the audience who had just witnessed the whole thing live were stunned. Social media exploded within minutes. People were live tweeting everything they'd seen. Clips started circulating online even though ITV tried to keep a lid on it. And by the time Petula left the building, the headline "Petula Clark kicked off loose women after furious row with Denise Welch" was already trending nationwide, and Petula's team immediately released a statement saying that she had been treated appallingly and would never appear on the program again. Denise Welch of course wasted no time in giving her side of the story. She went straight on social media that same afternoon and posted a lengthy statement saying that she had simply been expressing an opinion, that she never meant to cause offense, but that she stands by everything she said and refuses to be silenced just because someone is older or more famous than she is. She also apparently told friends that Petula had been rude to her first, that she had made a snide comment about Denise's personal life and her past struggles with addiction and mental health, which Denise felt was completely below the belt, especially coming from someone who was meant to be a guest on the show. And this has now spiraled into a full-blown feud with both women's fans picking sides and turning it into generational warfare online. You've got Petula's loyal supporters who have loved her for decades saying that Denise was jealous, bitter, and had deliberately baited an 89-year-old woman for cheap ratings, while Denise's defenders are saying that Petula needs to realize she can't just swan in and act like she's above everyone else because of her legacy, and that older celebrities need to be held accountable when they express outdated or problematic views. And honestly, the comments sections on both Instagram and Twitter are an absolute battlefield right now. People are bringing up everything from Petula's old interviews to Denise's Coronation Street days. It's like the two fanbases have been waiting years for this moment. Meanwhile, ITV are in complete damage control mode. They've released an official statement saying that while they encourage lively debate on loose women, they do not condone personal attacks and that both parties have been spoken to. But insiders say that the producers are furious with Denise for escalating the situation and potentially alienating a huge portion of their older demographic who absolutely adore Petula Clark. Apparently there were immediate complaints flooding in from viewers who said they would boycott the show if Denise wasn't reprimanded. And at the same time, Petula's people are saying that she has been inundated with messages of support and that several other older celebrities have privately reached out to say they've had similar experiences on the program and are now afraid to appear. There's even talk that this could lead to a wider conversation about ageism in television and whether shows like Loose Women are becoming too aggressive and confrontational for their original audience. Because let's not forget that when the show started it was meant to be a fun, light-hearted panel with women of different ages chatting about the issues of the day, but in recent years it's become known for these huge bust-ups and shouting matches that dominate the headlines, and many are saying that bringing an icon like Petula Clark into that environment without proper preparation was a recipe for disaster from the start. So where does this leave us now? Well, as of today, Petula Clark has officially vowed never to return to Loose Women and has apparently turned down several lucrative offers from other ITV programs in solidarity with how she was treated. Denise Welch is still a regular panelist and shows no signs of backing down or apologizing. In fact, she's been liking tweets that support her version of events, and the whole incident has reignited the debate about respect, generational differences, and what is and isn't acceptable on daytime television. Some are calling for Denise to be suspended, others are saying Petula should have known better than to get into a debate on a show famous for its arguments. But one thing is for sure, this story is not going away anytime soon. Every newspaper and gossip site is running it as their lead story. Former Loose Women panelists are being dragged into it left, right and center, with Carol Giffen saying she's not surprised at all and Colleen Nolan apparently texting friends that the atmosphere in the studio that day was the worst she's ever experienced. And who knows, maybe this will be the moment that forces ITV to rethink the whole format of the show. But until then, we'll be keeping you updated every step of the way, so let me know in the comments whose side you're on. Do you think Denise went too far, or do you think Petula should have kept her composure? And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more, because trust me, there is a lot more to come on this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.